So with all of these new tools becoming available to anyone to generate images and video with nothing but a laptop or phone and a few words, does that worry you? As a photographer, as a video creator who uses a camera, the fact that the output is now literally available to anyone. On the surface, these new tools, they are available now. They're accessible to anybody, and they are, very impressive. There's no denying that. And of course, with that comes a little bit of fear and a little bit of scare. And I'm assuming that the worry that you're talking about is from a professional standpoint, right? I'm assuming you mean like, am I scared that this is gonna replace my job? Is it gonna replace photographers? Is it gonna replace creators, content creators, filmmakers, storytellers? And that, I'm not so sure about. Because the thing you have to remember is photography is so much more than producing the final image. The final image it's kind of the icing on the cake. It's the medal. It's the medal that you get after you put in the hard work to get it. But without that work, the medal is completely useless and meaningless. The work is the journey. Following light, looking for locations, scouting locations. Always.
To be around here.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Come on.
The photo shoots where you come home with nothing.
It's a real bummer.
Haven't gotten too much done today, but we're trying. We're just trying to get something, I guess. The days where you just don't feel like doing anything, you'd much rather play a video game, but you still decide to go out and shoot. All that work adds up, and that's all a process. And that process is, if anything, more important than the photo itself, because that's where skill comes in. That's where knowledge starts to come in. Personal development and style, all of that is created through the process, not the imaging. The process of actually going out, moving your body, and actually going outside to take a photo or to make a film or whatever it is you're doing, but creating something with your camera, it's so much more enjoyable than sitting at home and typing things on the computer and just essentially playing the lottery with a chatbot or whatever. And there are also so many aspects from a commercial or a professional point of view where actually doing the work physically and taking photos or videos on site is far more beneficial for the client. There are always going to be circumstances and markets where it makes more sense to do it physically than digitally. This out. It's basically like where I keep like my personal memories and things like that. This is just to kind of just show that it's so much more fun to take the photos and remember things. Every single one of the photos on this book are taken with my Polaroid. And I think this is just so much more enjoyable to just look back on. Since the rise of AI in the creative industry specifically, I've seen it used in interesting ways, especially when it comes to, speeding up workflow and things like that. That doesn't bother me. But I've also seen it used in atrocious ways. And I think, obviously that's what you're referring to, what people are calling slop these days, right? By the way, if it was that good, why would they be calling it slop? Just think about that for a sec. A huge thing with photography is that every photo has a story. And when you completely remove the process of being out there, you're basically taking away all the story. Essentially, the photos have no more story anymore. It doesn't matter if they're picture perfect or clean or whatever. There's no more story. I'm seeing a huge rise in people, whether they're the creator or the consumer, craving authentic, real content. It's kind of like an AI revolution in a certain way, you know? They want to hear the value through words, not through fancy video editing, not through motion graphics, through words. They want proof that they are looking at a real person, because real is cool.
Driving in my four-door Ford through Carolina, hope that Johnny Law don't see what's inside it going real slow. But he don't have to know that if he turns the sirens on, I'm tearing up this road. Nothing here to see, got nothing on me. Ain't gonna find the shine underneath my seat.
I guarantee every single photographer will tell you that a huge reason why they do this is the places that photography takes them, the stories that happen along the way, and the fact that they get to have these photos to remember those moments, memories, the people that they were with, or were they by themselves, how did they feel, why were they there, all that stuff starts coming back the minute you look back in your past photos. And yes, some of those photos turn into trophies, and some of them turn into just really fun memories, but either way, it's 100% worth it.
I was literally thinking like, wait, which way did they go? Maybe they went that way, maybe they went this way.
And essentially progressing through your craft, that's developing a skill set. That's making you better. That's making you a better photographer. It's giving you a style. It's giving you a look. It's giving you a vibe. It's creating your identity. When you strip away that process, it's basically strips away skill set, and it strips away progress, and it definitely strips away identity, which is a huge part of it. Like, I'm loving the yap content. I'm loving the story content, the content of people just sitting down and talking about things that are important to them. And it's kind of bringing back the human aspect in films, in social media, and photography. Yo, check it out. You can actually see Battersea Bridge through here. Yeah, that shot's actually really cool. Damn, dude. I love photography. I'm willing to bet that I've never seen fog like this. I mean, you know, I have these photos here on my wall office, which are drawn pages, so not finished pages of comic books. And I have them on my wall framed because it's a great reminder that photography is never finished. It's always a work in progress. And that's what I love about it. Photography and filmmaking and content creation, to a certain extent, is a very real craft, and therefore needs real experience. It's funny, I was actually watching this tech YouTube video, and in it, the guy was saying that the minute that you start, when you start putting lenses and ND filters and all that kind of stuff on a phone, you're essentially mimicking a camera. And at that point, it probably just makes more sense to get a camera because it's gonna get you better results. And in that moment, I realized, dude, that's AI, that's slop. It's mimicking us. It's mimicking what we do. It's mimicking our craft. It's mimicking ourselves, you know? And so at that point, why not just watch the real shit? Why not just watch the real people, the real stories, the real craft? It's so much better. So ultimately, look, to answer your original question, do I think AI is gonna replace us photographers and storytellers? No, I don't. I think it's gonna create some changes. I think there are gonna be some difficulties to overcome, yep. But I don't think photography and filmmaking and creative visual mediums and music is gonna, be replaced or no longer be a necessary skill. I just don't see that. And yeah, there are one or two things that AI does better, typically speed. So, you know, helping you with workflow, and that's fine, and I support that. But it doesn't do, in my opinion, art better. It doesn't do creative storytelling better. It doesn't do any of that better. We do it better. I've never been inspired by AI. I've never been inspired by an AI image. I've never been inspired by an AI film. It's never made me want to go visit that place. It's never made me want to meet that person. It's never made me want to go do that thing. I think all creatives have the right to be a little nervous or a little bit scared, but I think the best thing we can do is continue making really cool stuff with our cameras. Continue getting better and get better at telling stories, taking photos with better stories, working harder to make stuff that we're proud of and share our voices. And most importantly, we just need to continue to show that whilst this AI stuff is happening and people are jumping on the AI board, and that's fine, I'm not judging, it's totally cool, but we have to continue showing that us as photographers and storytellers who still use cameras, we're not going anywhere. And I apologize for that long-ass answer to that question. Obviously, it's a subject matter that I've had a lot of time to think about, but yeah, I think that was a pretty detailed answer. So.